Let's talk to Jake Wallis Simons, though, author of Never Again, How the West Betrayed the Jews and Itself, a new book out this month, we should say. Obviously, yesterday, the anniversary, the second anniversary of October the 7th, that terrible, terrible day 2 years ago, where nearly 1,200 people were murdered, raped, set on fire, beheaded, treated like animals, basically, by scumbags who call themselves Hamas. Jake, a very good morning to you.
Good morning.
I was saying earlier, I was quite surprised that Keir Starmer didn't actually appear at any point yesterday. We were told he was going to appear at some vigil or other. I don't know if I'm wrong about this, but I don't think he did appear at any vigil. I don't think he did make any kind of statement whatsoever about October the 7th, the second anniversary.
It's no surprise at all. I mean, I gave a speech at the rally against anti-Semitism a few weeks ago. 70,000 people gathered outside Parliament. We heard from Richard Tice, we heard from Chris Philp, both of whom you've just had on the programme. Yeah. But Keir Starmer didn't turn up and didn't send anybody from his government to address the crowd. A couple of weeks later, he recognised a Palestinian state to jubilation from Hamas, who were not demanded to release the hostages first. The following week after that, he was then lamenting an attack in Manchester, which Hamas presumably were celebrating. And yesterday, October the 7th, rather than see commemorations led by the Prime Minister of that awful jihadi attack against not just Israel, but the civilized world, we saw London and other cities being defaced by Palestine protests, there's no other word for it, celebrating those atrocities. You know, if you cast your eyes over to Berlin, a lot of the monuments, public monuments, were lit up with the Israeli colours, with slogans supporting the hostages, bring them home. We didn't see any of that in Britain at all. It's absolutely shameful. Talk about Keir Starmer in the cockpit. Where's he flying the country?
Yeah, exactly right. And I mean, I saw some footage from outside of King's College in London, not far from where we are here at London Bridge up in Holborn, where they were chanting for global intifada. And by any measure, that's an illegal chant, I would have thought, isn't it? Shouldn't the police be arresting some of these people?
Yeah, I mean, not only that, but there was, I saw yesterday that there was a group that protested outside the BBC and then walked down to Parliament Square yesterday, and they were called Intifada 87. And the police very kindly restricted them from going outside synagogues, as they had wanted to do. But that's not enough. The problem is that these protests have been going on for 2 years. For 2 years, I myself and many other people have been saying, look, they're saying they want to kill us. They're saying it in every single code they can think of. Do something about it, limit it, stop it. You know, the people involved with a lot of these protests, organising these protests from the beginning, have ties to Hamas, which have been widely reported, past ties to Hamas. Some of them have been pictured with Hamas leaders in Gaza. And yet the police have not stopped them, have not limited them sufficiently. And lo and behold, 2 years later, almost to the day, we find the atrocious attack on a synagogue in Manchester on Yom Kippur that claimed 2 lives.
Yeah. I know, it's quite extraordinary, isn't it? We also learned yesterday that the woman who was pictured, we featured this yesterday on the show, pictured cutting down yellow ribbons in North London, in a place called Muswell Hill, which is quite a Jewish community, really. She's been named as Nadia Yalom from North London. She's a Palestinian PhD researcher and artist. It says Palestinian Jewish. I'm not quite sure if that means she's from Israel or not. But she claimed the ribbons were condoning genocide. And again, I don't know whether the police are going to be attempting to question her or what they're going to do.
I think the part of the problem is that, you know, this is not an isolated phenomenon. Obviously, she's a radical. She's, you know, it's not normal for someone to go out and take down, you know, gestures of support for innocent hostages. That's not normal. But it's part of a phenomenon that's spread across Britain and the West, which is that we've been brainwashed. You know, even last night I was having a conversation with friends on our side of the argument who were saying, yeah, but Israel kills lots of women and children. I mean, it's these sorts of messages that Hamas has successfully got out through our complicit media, largely, and through the UN and our political classes. They've succeeded in brainwashing people to think that actually the problem is not Hamas, the problem's Israel. And that's the message that the Prime Minister gave the seal of approval to when he recognised a Palestinian state without asking the hostages to be released first, as if Israel is all the problem here. And actually, you know, we need to begin to re-find our moral compass and stand behind the democracy that's under attack from jihadism, because they're coming for us next. The Muslim Brotherhood is where Hamas comes from. The Muslim Brotherhood are active in this country. You've had jihadism on our streets. Unless we wake up, we're going to see more of this, more blood on our streets coming from the same source.
Absolutely. Good to talk to you. Jake Wallis Simons, thank you very much indeed. New book out, Never Again, How the West Betrayed the Jews and Itself, which is pretty pertinent this week, particularly given what happened yesterday in London, and given what happened in Manchester, given what happened in Edinburgh, and given what happened in other parts of Europe where, as Jake says, they actually commemorated properly the deaths of those people on that terrible day 2 years ago. They had, lights, they had monuments, they had music, they had, vigils, they had candles being lit. We didn't have any of that, and we certainly didn't have the government leading any of that, which is pretty shameful, it seems to me.